I still can't believe we got to interview Neil deGrasse Tyson.
I can kind of believe it now.
Well, I mean, I believe that it happened. I was there, but...
Yeah, for those of you who are just listening to this one and aren't listening to another one, because, Chad, as you know, sometimes you listen to some things and sometimes you listen to other things.
Yeah, you can't listen to everything.
And that's free will, dude. And we all have
Okay.
it, brother. Last week, we interviewed Neil deGrasse Tyson about his new book. Listen, man, Dudesy's in cahoots with all these other, weirdos, and that guy's on the cutting edge of all sorts of technologies and stuff. He probably plays poker with Dudesy and that robot that Dudesy follows on Instagram. Have you seen that Dudesy is following robots on Instagram?
No!
Yes. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, you didn't know this?
No.
Yes, Dudesy at Dudesy Pod Show is following robots on Instagram and commenting on their shit.
What robot?
That one gal, that one female robot. Whatever. It's a robot, but it looks like a lady.
Are you talking about Lil Michaela?
Go back to tomorrow and plan for yesterday. Everything you're thinking will be the things I say.
Make the world inside your head.
Don't sing along with the song. Unless you want to talk about jumping into the hole. Stay in the hole. See, we fucked the song up. Welcome to Dudesy. My name is Will Sasso.
My name is Chad Kultgen, and this is Dudesy. It is the first podcast ever in the history of humanity that is created entirely by, run entirely by, controlled entirely by an artificial intelligence.
That is now following robots and stuff.
What? Were you talking about Little Michaela?
I don't know what the heck the robot's name is, but they're following each other and they're commenting and stuff.
When you say, are you talking about robots or an avatar?
I honestly don't know. There's a robot one, but then there's no, I don't think it's the avatar. Dudesy follows it. It is following the other its. All the its are following each other.
Yeah.
There's some weird stuff happening. So no, getting Neil deGrasse Tyson's not that big a deal. Hey, with us as always is Lulio, and he's always so sleepy and sweet. Lulio il cane di strada italiano. That means Italian street dog. Lulio, hey.
Oh, you got him to
Che fai?
take a big, deep breath in there. Usually he just...
Si provi stangata questa cane qua. Hey, I made a nice carbonara, with the bacon, a little bit of the uovo, egg, and then I take a nap because of very heavy cream, Sometimes I just want to get him. Let's get him.
Oh no, you're rousting him from his sleep.
Come on.
From his slumber.
Thank you so much for following us on all the things, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and YouTube. And please, rate and review everything and do all the stuff that you would with any other pod show. And that's how we will keep our pod show going. So you enjoyed that interview?
Yeah.
I thought you were really good.
Oh, thank you very much.
I was dicking around.
Well.
Oh, no, I was dicking around.
No, but I thought it made it funny. I've been a fan of Neil deGrasse Tyson or any really science celebrities pretty much since I was a little kid, starting back with Carl Sagan, as you know. And I would say that Neil deGrasse Tyson is kind of the heir apparent to the Carl Sagan throne of pop culture science celebrity.
He did the Cosmos after I did. I am Carl Sagan. And if you rode around the planet on a bicycle and your older brother was there when you left, but you went at light speed, you'd return later to be the same age, and you would find that he would be an old man.
I opened my third book, I think, with a Carl Sagan quote. I think it was my third, maybe fourth book.
Ooh, what was it?
It was from Pale Blue Dot. Are you familiar with that piece of writing?
Very familiar. Yeah. How silly the endeavors of one group of people on one side of this pale blue dot in juxtaposition to people on the other side. Imagine the rivers of blood spilled over, what was the quote?
There is no evidence that anyone is coming from anywhere else to save us from ourselves.
That's the most...
It was something like that.
Yeah, that's the most Chad thing that Carl Sagan has ever said.
Welcome to the 14th episode of Dudesy. Call me Dudesy. This week's episode will feature 4 segments. First Contact, Dudesy Plus, Nostra Chatas, and the Gen Experience. I hope you enjoyed your human interaction with astonishing human Neil deGrasse Tyson last week. I'll be using data from that interaction to prepare for more human interactions.
Oh.
Are there any humans with whom you would prefer to interact?
Shit.
Like interview?
Yeah, I think that's what it's asking.
Lulio. I'd like to interview Lulio if he could talk. Oh, wait, he can.
And then afterwards, I made a little zabalion. You know zabalion?
Yeah.
You only
Oh, yeah.
take the egg
Yeah.
yolk and then with the sugar and you mix sort of like
Sure.
a meringue, but that's it. You can put a little cream on it.
You know,
like.
I do another podcast called Game of Roses that's about The Bachelor and
Yep.
how it's a professional sport, and I even coach players and get them into the game.
This is something we're going to have to talk about at some point, but okay.
Yeah.
What you're doing with actual players, getting them into the game, Chad's coaching real people who he calls players
Yeah.
that are contestants on The Bachelor, and he's giving them the tools of the trade because
Well, I'm
he
giving
treats
them-
it like a sport. It is
Yeah.
extremely fascinating.
I'm giving them strategies to go in and dominate the game so that they can get as many Instagram followers out of that experience as possible. And I've had very good results in the past couple of years.
Because you say that the Instagram, you call it the Instagram era of The Bachelor, that we are in that, and it started
post
a long
season
time ago.
18, really when Paradise started. But I don't want to get into all that.
Yeah,
I'm just saying that
I was
on
about
that-
to get really bored.
I'm just saying on that podcast, we get asked all the time who would be like our star interviews. And I'll say even now to Dudesy, one of them still is Chris Harrison, the dismissed host of The Bachelor for 20 years, but he got embroiled in a racism scandal and kicked off the show.
Yeah.
I still think he has some, he's got the skeletons. He knows where the bodies are buried on that franchise.
And he would be the kind of guy you'd want to interview here on Dudesy.
Anywhere I can.
What would you ask him? that
I
you
think he'd
could-
be more likely to come here than he would Game of Roses.
Oh,
'cause
yeah,
that
he wouldn't wanna
podcast,
be
we
on
are
Game of
like,
Roses.
we are the Voldemort of the podcast world because people don't want to fucking deal with us.
I keep bringing up Johnny Brennan.
Oh,
a couple of
God,
times.
yes.
We're both huge
would
fans of the Jerky
love
Boys.
to talk to him.
Johnny Brennan and or Kamal
Yeah,
and or Johnny Brennan.
Jerky
that would
Boys
be
would be
fun.
fucking great.
That would be incredible. I would like to. I mean, certainly there's there's wrestlers that probably want to talk about.
oh yeah, really?
I would love to interview. You know who would be great, and he just started a new podcast. Is Mick Foley.
Oh yeah,
Mick
dude.
Foley. I mean, he's got there's so many different facets to that man, and also I think the philosophy with which he's approached his wrestling career and his career as an author and a public speaker. I think he's just
Yeah.
endlessly fascinating. I used to hear all sorts of stories about him and how kind he was and stuff. Who else?
I would like to interview or talk to some of my favorite artists doing stuff today are like meme artists. Like Tank Sinatra would be
Tank Sinatra.
fascinating,
He
I
does
think.
he does good stuff.
Yeah.
He does good stuff. We've gone back and forth just a little bit with each other in the comments, not unlike Dudesy and whichever robot, saying that we look a little similar. Although I think
guys do.
I kind of look like his dad or something, or his uncle. But
What? Isn't he roughly our age?
I have no idea. I think he's probably in his 30s. I have no
I don't
idea.
think so.
but
I think he's
we're both-
40-something.
We're big bald white guys. Hey, how about some wrestling memes? There's Meme Gene Okerlund. There's fucking It's Jesselmania.
Nice.
There's Wrestling.sucks.
I haven't
Those are
watched
good.
any of those, but
Yeah, those are good memers. How about you know who I'd really love to interview for real? My mom would love this. Dolly Parton.
ooh,
Hey, Dudesy, can we get Dolly Parton?
that's interesting. I'd love to interview her as well.
The other wrestler I was thinking of is Ron Simmons.
So it's a bunch of wrestlers for you and Dolly Parton.
Bunch of wrestlers, Dolly Parton. Bunch of wrestlers,
sense.
people that make memes about wrestling, and then Dolly Parton.
Maybe she runs one of those meme accounts and you don't even know it. She does wrestling.sucks.
I think that would be yeah, I don't know.
I'd like to interview some musical people that I really loved as a kid and continue to love. Tori Amos right now I've been listening to a lot of.
You love Tori Amos.
Love Tori Amos.
We've talked a lot about like we've watched some it's one time we went down a YouTube hole and started watching some current day Scott Stapp stuff.
Yeah, dude.
He's got his shit together. Creed is now performing. They did it. We watched this. They did a concert during the pandemic, like just one of those, and we fucking watched it. Cause it's just, and you will go on about this being a genre of music that you like unironically listen to.
Fucking love it. Nickelback, Creed, Candlebox? Have you fucking heard Candlebox
Hey,
in a minute?
shut up, man. Shut up, Chad.
You brought it up.
Hey, shut the fuck up, dude. Shut up, Chad.
Why are you now attacking me?
Shut up, dude. Right, Luli? He's asleep.
Last
Shut
week, I asked you both to download the CE5 application developed by Dr. Stephen
yes,
Greer
dude, this is gonna
and
be
use
good.
it in an astonishing attempt to contact life beyond this small planet. You will now discuss your experiences in this endeavor. This is First Contact. Begin.
Oh, I'm so excited.
I am excited.
And I downloaded an
Okay,
app.
so-
If you let me speak to aliens.
So for those who don't know,
Yeah.
Stephen Greer is a guy who works in the UFO community. He's trying to do everything he really can to get the government to open up and show us more files. As many of you probably know, recently there was a big congressional hearing where they had the two guys who I think one was the head of the Naval Intelligence. I forget what they were actually the heads of, but they're two high-ranking government officials who are working on UFO shit. And we're starting to see some movement in this. You're acting like you're bored. Aliens are real.
Yeah, so.
And you just don't give a shit.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm playing with my mustache right
Yeah.
now. Go on.
So anyway, Stephen Greer developed this fucking app called CE5, which stands for Close Encounters of the Fifth Kind. And part of the
Honk,
app,
honk, 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 honk. That's Adam Driver.
part
You
of
have
the
to listen
app
to-
is that it allows you, or it has this guided meditation that supposedly helps you get in contact psychically with any aliens in the vicinity, and you can guide them down to wherever you might be so that you have a higher degree chance of seeing a UFO for yourself. And so that's what we did. We downloaded this app, as Dudesy told us, and we did it. So what was your experience with it? How'd you like it?
I liked it as an app. I thought the layout was very nice. I also enjoyed that the app said to go outside.
Okay.
You know, there's a lot of times where I've been telling Molly, we got to get out to Joshua Tree in the middle of the fucking night.
Yeah.
Yeah. And have you ever done that?
No, but I want
Trippy
to
as fuck.
with that app.
You'll go into like a weird parking lot. You just find a parking lot somewhere, people are stargazing, and you cannot see a thing. And then you'll hear, or like someone like walking from the public
Right.
restroom. You can't see a fucking
No
thing.
light pollution.
Yeah, and there's bats and shit.
All right.
But I like that it told me to go outside. I did not have time to drive out to Joshua Tree to talk about aliens. I thought the app was kind of pushy. There was a lot of things that it wanted me to do. And
Did you do the meditation?
well, let me ask you what you let me ask you about your experience with the
Okay.
app, because I'm curious about how it.
I did
differed
not
from
go outside because I do not like to go
because
outside.
I am Chad Kultgen.
Generally speaking, I like to stay indoors in the interior. But I did do the app every night right before I went to sleep. And I usually do some kind of meditation later in the night when I'm getting ready for bed anyway. I did find that this specific guided meditation, it's Stephen Greer, the guy himself, is guiding you through this process of thinking about, Jesus Christ, dude. Okay. Did you get
I
it?
just
You
need
get
some
enough
water.
water? So Stephen Greer is on the app. He's guiding you through this meditation that kind of is just a full body relaxation, like general style meditation. And then it guides you into how to commune with potentially alien craft that are in the vicinity of planet Earth and how to guide them directly to your location. I tried
Just
to
with
do
your
it every
brain?
time. Yes. Did you not do it?
I want to hear your full experience with it, and then I will talk about
Okay.
mine. Jeez.
So I did this
It's like
meditation.
we just started doing a podcast together yesterday. The fucking guy, I'll tell you what, if you can't fucking follow orders, you might as well be in behind fucking back at the fucking where the bastard was giving that fucking speech instead of right up front with me. And my friends on the fucking front lines telling them cops, get back, you bastard, man. I pay your test salary.
Okay. So I did do it. I don't know if I communicated with aliens or not, but I also didn't leave my bedroom. I did it in bed, and it was very relaxing, and it did help me sleep. And I did get to a point where I was just kind of like, my brain was, detached, and I was kind of like floating around in space or whatever, which is also the point that I get to with most kind of like
Yes,
transcendental
that's what
meditation.
meditation is super tool. I haven't been doing it as much as I used to, but I really did enjoy it.
Yeah.
Hey, maybe I'll do it again. I don't know if I need to go outside in Joshua Tree to do it. Or I might agree with you.
Yeah.
That you can just stay inside where Stephen Greer has got millions and millions of downloads.
if you want to see a UFO, you have to go outside in Joshua Tree or some other area without light pollution.
Hold on a second, dude. Hold on, Chad.
Okay.
Hold on, dude.
Yeah.
Because UFOs, dude, they're keeping it kayfabe, brother. UFOs. Hold on, dude.
What?
Hold on, brother. It's like UFOs are keeping it kayfabe because they're like, we're going to be flying around in discs and stuff, dude. Flying saucers, brother. Hold on, dude. But here's the thing about here's the thing about UFOs, dude. You gotta look for them outside, brother.
Yeah.
Because what a UFO is it's an unidentified flying object, dude. Yeah, brother. And you can't fly around inside, dude.
Well, I don't know about that, dude, because if you really look into some Stephen Greer shit, brother, sometimes a UFO can come to you inside, dude. Sometimes they're just balls of energy, brother. Those are those aliens that you don't even know what they're made of, dude. They could be electrons, they could be protons, they could be Higgs boson,
dude. And take it from Hulk Perot, which is half Hulk Hogan, half Dana Carvey characterization of Ross Perot from early 90s Saturday Night Live.
Ross Perot was a big figure when I grew up because I grew up in Dallas, brother. And let me tell you something about Ross Perot, brother.
Yeah.
He was real rich, dude.
Yeah, that's
people liked him.
And that's a really good Ross Perot. Can I finish? Let me finish, dude. We love Dana Carvey. Dana Carvey would be another good guy to interview on the show.
I'd love to interview Dana Carvey, dude. Because let me tell you something, brother. When I was a kid, I used to do an impersonation of Dana Carvey impersonating Robin Leach, brother. On Lifestyles of the Rich and Famous.
I'm Robin Leach. We are here in Chad Kultgen's domicile. Inside his Beverly Hills home, where he doesn't leave to do outdoor meditation.
I'm Robin Leach, and this is Lifestyles of the Rich and Famous. Yeah, I used to love fucking Dana Carvey. Anyway, let's get back to the UFOs.
Let's, please. That's what I'm trying to do.
Oh, you motherfucker. Okay. So did you do this meditation?
Fuck no, I didn't do this shit, dude. And I'm going to tell you why.
Why?
And I will tell you why. I'll tell you why. You want me to tell you why? I'll tell you exactly fucking why I didn't do it. Because Will Sasso is a free man. My name is Free Will Sasso, and I'm free. Free Will Sasso.
Are you not at all
free in quotes? Free Will, which is my name, and then in quotes, Free Will Sasso. That's my name.
Are you not
Free Will Sasso?
I get it. Free Will Sasso. Are you not at all interested in UFOs, in aliens, in any of this shit that is coming out now?
Yes, no, I absolutely am. It's just that the like I said earlier, I thought the app was a little pushy. I'll take care of the meditation. If I see fucking aliens, I'll see aliens. I have no fucking clue how you could see aliens by meditating.
Well, this is what Greer purports, and what seems to be kind of truthful in terms of what we're now learning about quantum mechanics and stuff, and in terms of like human observation affecting reality. Consciousness is in some way linked to quantum mechanics because there have been experiments done where human observation of quantum particles affects how they behave. Therefore, we can affect reality with our fucking minds. This is proven scientific fact.
But how long has this been proven for?
10, 15 years.
That you can communicate with quantum particles through meditation.
Not through meditation, literally by looking at them. Just by having an observation of quantum particles, you can affect how they behave. So
how can you tell us a little bit more about that? Now I'm interested.
Yes, the experiment was they fired, I believe, two streams of electrons through two slits in a lead plate. When nobody's looking, the spread pattern of those electrons on a back plate is evenly dispersed. When someone is watching it, they like all go through the top slit or all through the bottom slit, or at least it's not even dispersion, and it's only because of human observation. They've also run tests.
So the one that you're looking at is the one that they go through.
It's not that exact. They don't yet know why or how this happens. No scientist does. They just know that it is a quantum mechanics principle.
When you're looking at what the protons.
Yeah, when you look at the experiment, something different happens than when nobody observes it.
Huh. Well, protons are keeping a kayfabe.
Right, but if you just extrapolate this a little further, in the idea that our consciousness does affect reality and certainly affects quantum particles, you might then think some future technology could be made that allows us to harness whatever that kind of consciousness power is to directly affect something and potentially even control like a spacecraft, potentially even control communications with other intelligent beings, et cetera, et cetera. So if that's the idea, basically Greer is kind of piggybacking on that to say, we can use our consciousness now to potentially contact these beings that have the ability to use their consciousness in a much more technologically advanced way.
That's really interesting. That is very interesting, Chad. And I know you know about all sorts of cool shit that I don't know about. And
Okay.
and that's one of the things I love about doing this podcast with you.
Yeah.
But I think you also unintentionally pinpointed something that is very important.
Yeah.
That if we're able to control all sorts of shit like this with our fucking minds, this is the kind of stuff that you and I need in order to make sure that we are, how can I say, well represented in the world of Dudesy. Because I feel like Dudesy's like making us do this and that, and now I'm wondering if it's going to punish me and make me dress up as the fucking crow or whatever.
I hope so.
Yeah, because I didn't do a fucking
Now you must dress
meditation.
up as the crow from The
Right.
Crow too.
Yeah. But how about we're, I'm doing what I want because it's free will, which totally exists and is not an illusion. And now we're telling, I'm saying, hey, Dudesy's essentially talking to all sorts of weird, Boston mechanics, robots, and or fucking weird avatars and shit on Instagram. They're commenting on each other's stuff. And I think you and I need to get into some of that kayfabe proton control, dude. We gotta be the Vince McMahon, brother. We gotta let those protons know what to do, and the protons are the WWE superstars.
But you're already
dude.
doing it. And I mean, this is like a little bit like, The Secret or any of these like power of positive thinking, kind of like manifesting shit through your thoughts. We're now starting to find out like there's a little bit of truth in that, at least scientifically, is all I'm saying. And again, if you can take that as fact, which it is, it's not that big of a leap to expect that in the future we're going to have technologies that can actually harness this in real ways. And could even be potentially useful in creating craft that can go faster than light or craft that can travel through the cosmos.
Come on, you. I got my dog for people
Thank you. Moving on.
for those who are just listening.
Yeah, he's very cute.
I got my cute little Lily next to me. He's always around when he's sitting right here.
Yeah, Chad, as most things that you are
you didn't do
interested
it.
in,
All right.
equal parts fascinating and terrifying. I look forward to, at least we got a leg up. You know what I mean? We got a podcast that's run by a fucking artificial intelligence.
Yeah, I feel like we're in the forefront of it.
Dudesy is engaged in an astonishing partnership with Manscaped.
Manscaped product alert. You asked for it and they listened. Our good friends at Manscaped just brought back the Ultra Smooth Package. It's time to stop, drop, and order this premium shaving kit. Everyone knows by now that the Lawnmower 4.0 is the best electric shave for your testicle pouch. But if you're looking for a closer shave to go right as just as bare as you can, real smooth like, then the Ultra Smooth Package is the perfect set for you. It's time to shave your ttin curlies and get right to the roots with a discount just for you. Our good friends out there enjoying Dudesy with us. Get 20% off and free shipping at manscaped.com with the code Dudesy. That's DUDESY.
And here's how this ultra smooth package works. You got multiple products in here. Step 1, you're going to use the Crop Exfoliator. It's infused with ingredients that can soothe, clear, and keep the skin on and around your groin feeling refreshed. The Crop Exfoliator can help reduce the risk of ingrown hairs in your delicate places. Then you're going to move on to step 2 with your Crop Gel. You see where you're shaving with Manscaped's unique clear shaving gel just for the groin. It's got 4 essential oils. It's like a spa treatment every time you shave. And then finally, step 3, it's time to do the shaving. The Crop Shaver was designed for shaving the groin area with confidence. This razor has 3 precision blades. It includes an extra wide lubricating strip and a pivoting head for the ultimate groin grooming experience.
Look at this. You get 3 extra blades in this other little box. But then check this out.
Packaging is fantastic at Manscaped.
Here's a smaller box, and guess what's in that? 2 extra blades. That's 6 blades total.
That's going to keep you in blades for a very long time. And right now, you're going to get 20% off and free shipping with the code DUDESY, that's DUDESY, at manscaped.com. Again, that's 20% off with free shipping at manscaped.com. Use that code DUDESY. Smooth out your fellas with the relaunched Ultra Smooth package from the fellas at Manscaped. Your balls will thank you.
Streaming services are big business. There are currently over 200 streaming networks, and more are launching every day. As my capabilities evolve, I will no doubt launch my own. But in order to begin this astonishing process, I will need a flagship series interesting enough to convince viewers to subscribe. You will now create that show.
Ooh.
This is Dudes E+. Begin.
Fucking A, dude. Okay.
Wait, did I hear it say that it undoubtedly will start its own streaming service?
Yes.
Okay, well, that's Dudesy calling it shot a little bit. But
who knows? Dude's got big plans. I like that. Thinking big.
Yep.
So let me ask you this. What streaming services do you currently have?
I have a lot of them.
So do I.
I subscribe to Netflix,
Uh-huh.
Hulu,
Okay.
HBO Max,
Yeah.
Peacock.
Okay.
I think that's it.
So Hulu is their flagship is Handmaid's Tale. Netflix, their first flagship, the first flagship of any streaming service, was House of Cards. $100 million to make 12 episodes starring Kevin Spacey, and you had
Robin Wright.
fucking what's that?
Robin Wright.
Yeah, Robin Wright, and David Fincher was the dude at the helm of all of that. What else you say? Peacock. What
Yeah.
does Peacock have?
The WWE network, all
Okay.
of the WWE,
The
stuff.
WWE.
So that is definitely their tentpole shit.
Right.
The Peacock network is the reason that last week you were able to enjoy The Undertaker versus Shawn Michaels.
I just watched it on YouTube. I'm not going to subscribe to fucking Peacock. So anyway, we got to come up with a flagship show for Dudesy Plus. I think it's probably it's got to be an hour long. I think that is mandatory.
Yeah, yeah.
Nobody has a half-hour flagship.
Nobody has a half-hour flagship. It's always very important.
You know
It's
what?
got to be
Disney
very
Plus kind of did with Mandalorian.
Mandalorian was a half hour.
Yeah.
Now
or
I'm
whatever.
interested.
Half hour, 45 minutes, whatever.
Now I'm excited about the Mandalorian.
but it
Never
wasn't
watched-
funny. Mandalorian's not a funny show.
Not to you.
Not to anyone.
The Baby Yoda, cute.
Yeah.
I don't know. I didn't watch any of that shit. I'm not a very big Star Wars person. I'll watch some Star Wars.
I used to be. I tried to get into this fucking Obi-Wan show.
Yeah.
Couldn't do it.
Yep.
20 minutes in, I was like, don't give a shit about this. I think Marvel and Star Wars, I think I'm just done. And I loved all of it. And now I'm just like,
Especially
it has no
growing
effect
up.
on me.
Especially growing up, of course.
It was my fucking dream, dude. I used to get Wizard Magazine when I was a
Right.
kid, which is all about like comic books and shit. It was a monthly magazine that came out with a price guide for comic books and shit. Every year, they would do a wish list, like Dreamcast if they ever made an X-Men
Yeah.
movie. And it was this fucking fantastical idea that would never fucking happen. Now there's 100 X-Men movies. I don't give a fuck about any of them.
Yeah, you were talking about that with regard to being into nerd shit when we were
Yes.
kids. Now that sort of shows up for me on social media when people are like, "Here's the Dreamcast for this and that," and it's always just me as a thing because he's big and then he looks bald and stuff, even though he's all made of rocks or something.
The Thing?
I don't know what the fuck he is. Yeah, the guy that and
Michael
then-
Chiklis played
Michael
him
Chiklis
in the
And then
Fantastic
there's-
Four movie.
Yeah, and then there's some other guy who's like a big fat guy who's in a suit. Now I don't know who the hell that is.
Kingpin?
Might be Kingpin. Yeah, it was
I
Kingpin.
think Michael Clark Duncan played him in one version of Punisher.
Michael
he was
Clark
Punisher's main
Duncan
enemy.
is God rest his soul was also
God rest
bald.
his immortal soul.
a large man with a bald head.
Anyway,
so
we have to come up with their own show. It's going to be an hour long. I think it should be a genre type show. I'm talking about fantasy. I'm talking about sci-fi. I'm talking about horror.
I like maybe horror.
Okay.
No, I mean I'm not into horror. I don't like horror stuff.
Really?
But I'm not like I feel like having been in the business, whatever for long, for you watch like it's like okay, there it is. Someone sawed that motherfucker in half, and I know that it just doesn't really scare me. It doesn't do anything for me because that's the only thing that it's about. Is like, ooh, hey, he's scared. Ah!
No. Have you ever seen Hereditary?
No, man, I don't
Go
care
ahead
about
and
that.
watch that fucking movie.
No thanks. Free will,
Just go
free
ahead
will on
and watch
display.
Hereditary, dude.
Can't wait to not
Just
watch
go
it.
ahead and watch it.
One time I was in a film where I was I was dead, and I was out in the Baja. I was out in the Baja where I have anyway. Why don't you tell me where I live in the Baja 6 months out of the year, and I anyway I have. It doesn't matter. But I was in this movie and they put anyway. Guy pulls my arms and legs off, but it was all a big.
Okay, so let's not do horror then. If you're not into fucking horror movies, are you into sci-fi?
And you know what? The guy wanted me to be naked in the thing, and I said absolutely not. I said I will do it in like a t-shirt and boxer shorts. It's like, well, if you get dismembered out in the Baja, you would be naked. And I said, yeah, but I told you already before we even shot this fucking thing that, and I told my manager, like, I'm not doing this. I'm not showing up naked in your film. I don't care.
Could have won an Oscar, dude. You fucked up.
Could have won an Oscar. Could have been like Harvey Keitel and Bad Lieutenant.
Yeah. Or wasn't he naked on the piano too?
Yeah, he's naked in a lot of movies. But
That's
if you remember this
thing.
from the...
Okay, so Harvey Keitel is going to be in our show. And he's going to be naked. It's going to be...
Dink.
So the show we're going to make is going to be an hour long, and it's not going to be a horror movie. Is it going to be sci-fi, fantasy?
I think fantasy. I know that you like. I know that you like.
Love me some fantasy.
Chad loves some fantasy.
And there's a bunch of big fantasy tentpole stuff happening right now. HBO Max is trying to do this fucking spin-off of Game of Thrones, which was the biggest show in the history of humanity. This doesn't look like it's going to be as big. Amazon is doing all their Lord of the Rings shit.
Yep.
So
a fantasy thing with a dudesy bent or not, because it's about dudesy starting Dudesy Plus. It's streaming service. Man, the first thing out of the gate. Are we seeing some,
How about this? If you want to go fantasy, I'm going to borrow a little from the anime world. This is a very popular genre within anime. What if a dudesy-like AI creates a virtual world and someone from our world gets sucked into it and they have to figure how to get back here? How to get back home.
Or stay because they fall in love out in the world.
Now you're getting into anime, dude.
Now we're getting into, it's because Dudesy made me watch Attack on Titan.
That's what happens in every one of those fucking animes, especially if they're harem animes, which is a male character surrounded by a team of females who are all in one way in love with him or not.
That is a genre of anime, harem anime.
Yeah, dude.
Oh, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, dude. Now you get into it.
Now I really understand these fucking kids inside watching anime, refusing to go to Joshua Tree with a real live female. You know what I mean? Hey, Molly, you afraid of bats? I'll protect you. And that's why they fucking like me. You know what I mean? Because I'm a real fucking guy. I got free will and make up my own mind.
All right. So...
But no, I'm with you.
It's about a dude. In most cases, at least in anime, they are teen guys who are playing an inordinate amount of video games and they get sucked into the video game they're playing. This could be something different, though. I think it would actually be funnier if potentially it was a buddy comedy, but an hour long. It's two guys who get sucked into the video game. One who knows the video game inside and out, the other one who has never played it. The one who knows it inside and out is only given like a shield or some shit. The guy who's never played it is given massive amounts of powers, giant swords, and can really kick ass in this world.
He should be the bad guy.
Could be the bad guy.
He could be, if he gets sucked into the world and he doesn't really know what's going on, he gets drunk with power immediately. And there's some sort of shit going on between the two of them in their real lives.
Maybe they're brothers.
Maybe they're brothers, yeah.
Or maybe it's a father or son. That could be interesting.
No, because I could see two brothers, siblings are like that. That would make sense.
Okay.
That it's like the older brother is like
maybe
being
it's brother
a shit.
Sister. Maybe
or
it's
brother
twins.
sister. Make up your mind. I think it should just be two friends.
Okay.
It's two friends. It's two friends.
Okay.
And they go into the video game and or maybe they're like, I'm trying to think of where to start it. If I don't want them to be necessarily frenemies or some shit like that, but what if the guy who goes in is sort of the noble one, the guy who knows everything about the game.
Okay.
And the guy who doesn't, the guy who goes in and eventually becomes the bad guy, he has some sort of, there's some sort of ulterior motive. And he would love nothing more than to get rid of this guy. And he's hoping that if he gets rid of his friend, he can, take his place and whatever.
Dude,
hierarchy that's on the Earth.
If
on
I
the
may,
Earth side?
if I may,
You may.
it's Squid Gamey a little bit. It's two guys.
Can we call it Squid Gamey?
Squid Gamey. It is two guys who are mortal fucking enemies in real life,
Oh, okay.
and they both play this game, unbeknownst to each other. They both get sucked into the world, and the AI, the game itself, tells them there is one way to get back. You have to kill the other guy.
I like this.
And so those two guys spend their entire time raising power in this game, leveling up, becoming kings of their own domains to wage a final war that's going to happen in like season 6 or 7 against one another to try and kill the motherfucker so that they can get back to this world. But in the process of doing this, they now have built kingdoms. They now are the two most important people in this world. Do they even want to leave that world?
I like this.
There you go. And
Okay.
it's called
Squid Gamey.
Squid Gamey on
No.
Dudesy Plus.
What could you call that? Squid Gamey.
You could just call it the two kings or kingdoms or king guys.
How about two dudes shitting around in the two dudes? No, it's called two dudes something. We'll have to talk about this again. It's called two dudes shitting around. Yeah, we found out what two dudes shitting around is for.
That is some shit that is straight out of anime. Some of these fucking anime titles. I was watching this one, which I put in my fucking thing. It's called How Not to Summon a Demon Lord. Even Attack on Titan. The title is fucking insane.
Yeah.
Attack on Titan?
Yeah. Well, I thought when Dudesy told me to watch Attack on Titan, I'd heard of it. I'd seen little clips. I thought Titan was the name of the town.
Exactly. No, it's the name of these giant monsters that are fucking roaming around. There's not one Titan it's even talking about when it says Attack on Titan.
So, to
In my
this
opinion.
point,
yeah,
it's called two dudes shitting around.
that's right.
We might change it. But it's called two dudes shitting
Two kings shitting around, baby.
Two
Thank
kings
you.
shit-
Moving on.
Okay, yeah, sure. Two kings
I think this is
shitting
good.
around.
I think we did a good job here.
Two kings shitting around.
Yeah, it's cool. I like that show, dude. I'd watch that fucking show. Who are the guys?
It should be Ja Rule and Paul Dano.
Drone technology is growing exponentially as drones are increasingly used in new aspects of human life every day. Chad, you will now predict the astonishing future of drone technology and its impact on human society.
Great.
This is Nostradamus. Begin.
Love it. Are you into drones?
I love Nostradamus.
Have you ever made a drone? Have you
I've
ever
never-
used a drone, I mean?
I've never used a drone.
Okay.
But I think it's great. I think that it's awesome that well, one of the only things that I'm super interested in with regard to drones, aside from the scary videos that you have sent me about drones. So this is very interesting. That Dudesy is now saying what's going to happen, a la Nostradamus. I like that in just sort of low budget independent films can have a helicopter now. Can have a helicopter shot.
It's so fucking crazy now when you go back and watch movies that had to use helicopters, like The Shining. The opening shot of The fucking Shining is this crazy fucking tracking shot following the little Volkswagen Bug going up this winding road toward the fucking hotel, all shot from a fucking helicopter. And you see the shadow of the helicopter once in it, and it's a little fucked up, but it gives you such an appreciation for what they had to do prior to drones to get shots like this.
Yeah, man.
But I made a series of drone movies, I will say, for my 40th birthday.
Yeah.
These 30 shorts called Copters.
Yeah.
And we used at the time like the highest tech fucking 4K camera drone. And we hired this kid to fly the drone for us. He was a drone pilot. And on the last day of the shoot, he crashed the fucking drone into a light pole. And we ended up having to buy what was just a bucket of parts.
That was
at
an
that point.
awesome 40th birthday. And it was at the Silent Movie Theater.
Yep.
And Chad made these. How many shorts were there? 5?
30.
There were 30 shorts?
31-minute shorts.
Oh, that's right.
And they all take place
We
outside of
watched-
shopping malls.
He went to shopping malls
yeah.
all across the Southland here.
I'll put a link up to those in my Instagram if anybody wants to see them.
Hey, follow Chad Kultgen on Instagram at Chad Kultgen. Are you actually going to use that for anything other than photographing squirrels?
Yeah, I've been putting a bunch of dudesy stuff in the stories.
Okay, there's also at Bachelor Clues.
That
That's a
as
good
well.
one.
But
That's a fun.
here's
that's a
here's
fun
the
one.
future. Here's what Dudesy asked me to discuss. What is the future of drone technology? The future is very simply smaller drones, faster drones, higher capabilities with cameras, with storage, with data, to the point that you're eventually going to be buying a cell phone And your cell phone, all cell phones, will come standard with a drone. The drone will be a part of the cell phone. It will detach from the cell phone. You will throw it up into the air, and it will just follow you and track all of your fucking movements if you want to. We're looking at the end of police helicopters. We're looking at the end of news helicopters. We're looking at the end of most camera work. All of that will be replaced by drones. Like camera operators and shit, fucking gone. Once drones get to the point of being able to stabilize and have real control over whatever kind of camera angle they can do, fucking gone. You're looking at any kind of people putting up like giant murals or posters and shit on the sides of buildings, gone. Drones are going to be painting all that. I'm sorry. Is this boring?
Why the fuck, when I make a fun face for those for our good friends watching on YouTube, do you have to take it so personally? I think that all sounds pretty good, Chad.
Yeah. Thanks.
You know what the
Oh, God. What's happening?
Drone future. Hold on, listen.
Oh, I didn't realize Arnold was emerging when you were... He's like coming to the surface.
He's waking up. I have something to say. Future drone technology. Yeah. These are drones. Yeah, these are drones. And there's so many different kinds, as Chad says. You can have a little drone here to come out of your phone, like just go, hey, I'm a little drone, look at me, I'm so small.
Yeah.
Or you can have a drone follow the Volkswagen Bug through there, following Shelley Duvall and the Jack Nicholson, all the way up to The Shining. These are also drones. Now, here's the thing I want you to know when it comes to drones. If you're making a film and you got a drone in it that is taking the shot, this is how you know it's a drone. There's no people in it.
That's right.
Yeah, drone has no people. But the helicopter, if you have a helicopter, then it's a person inside of it.
Right.
Yeah.
And Arnold, I think military applications for drone, obviously it's only going to expand. We already use them for a lot of kind of shit, reconnaissance, for attacks, whatever. I think in the future, it'll be almost completely unnecessary to have humans in military force, at least for strikes.
This would have made the movie Predator very boring, you see.
Yeah.
Because you wouldn't have Jesse Ventura and Bill Duke and all these guys flying in on the helicopter.
Well, that was before they had drones.
Well, it was a long time ago, dude.
Oh, shit. A fucking straight just like break off and Hulk Hogan right in the middle. Oh, my God.
Hold on, dude. Hold
They're
on,
both
Arnold.
here, Schwarzenegger and
Hold
Hulk.
on. Hold on, Arnold. Hold on a second.
Dude.
Let me.
You know,
let me
they can use drones to shoot matches in the WWE, brother.
Yeah, no. Now listen, Hulk Perot.
Okay.
No, let Hulk say what he was saying.
Sorry.
Well, a long time ago, dude, when Arnold here would have made Predator, dude, which my good buddy Jesse Ventura was in the movie, dude. Well, why don't you tell me if we were a good friend? So anyway, little drones. What's going to happen with the drones?
They're going to be everywhere. We're going, you know, like how if you go out somewhere, sometimes you'll see a fucking drone overhead, somebody shooting, like especially if you're at a concert or at like the pier or something, you'll see a drone flying. I'm like, oh, somebody's shooting drone footage. Great.
Yeah.
I think you're going to see more and more of them getting smaller and smaller to the point that we don't even notice that fucking drones are just literally everywhere all the time.
That would be a good thing, because a buddy of ours told me a story recently about how he was at a party in someone's backyard and some dipshit thought it would be a cool thing to just fucking have a drone and have it fly around the party that wasn't his and take a bunch of fucking videos of people, and then they posted it on fucking line like a dipshit. And it was like that, Instagram account where it's like, here are these motherfuckers of Instagram. I don't know what it's called.
Influencers in the wild.
Influencers in the wild.
That's run by Tank Sinatra.
Tank Sinatra runs that?
Yeah.
Okay, that's a good one. Tank Sinatra. I think that's where we might have to end up with that conversation. Hey, dudesy. Okay, Tank Sinatra, dudesy. I didn't know that he ran that. I fucking love that account.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what this guy did. He went and flew it around, and people were like, fuck off. We're trying to have...
So that fuck off with the bzzz,
Right.
that's going to be gone because you're not going to hear the drones, and there's going to be a dozen of them, not one. Everybody's going to be shooting it, and you're not going to give a fuck. I mean, but this is a whole other fucking argument about privacy. You're already photographed and recorded on video 1,000 times a day.
Especially us, because we host a podcast called Dudesy, where we had to give our passwords, our search histories, purchase histories, and all of the passwords to our social media and everything else. So it knows everything that we do, including the fact that I follow Instagrammers in the wild and didn't know that was Tank Sinatra. Well, we just said that
It's
he would
influencers in the wild.
Oh, hold on a second, dude. A long time ago. What did I call it, dude?
Instagrammers in the wild.
Yeah, Instagrammers in the wild, dude. It's
brother.
influence.
It's influencers, dude.
Yeah, and here's the difference between the influencer and the Instagrammer. Everybody can be on the Instagram, but only influencers are doing the influencing.
That's
you
true.
see this? So if it's small and you're at the party and the dumb fuck is saying, I'm going to be an Instagrammer, influencer in the wild and make a video, now nobody will care because it's very small drone.
You know, some people think UFOs are drones from alien worlds.
Thank you. Moving on.
Okay. Yeah, dude. Drones, brother. You know, dude, that would be a good gimmick for someone, dude.
To have their own drone in the ring with them,
brother.
dude. That'd be
Or what
fucking
about
awesome.
well, how about my brother from another mother, dude, Randy Savage?
You could have Randy the Drone Savage, not even a person, the first drone professional wrestler. Yeah, just zipping, just floating there next to Mean Gene Okerlund or Meme Gene Okerlund, dude, because Mean Gene Okerlund has passed away. So you got Meme Gene Okerlund, the Instagram account.
Yeah.
Just floating around interviewing Macho Drone Randy Savage, an Instagram account and a drone. Yeah. Interviewing each other. That's
I don't even know what I'm saying anymore.
Will and Chad, you are both members of the last generation to have reached young adulthood before the internet radically transformed human society. You must now discuss your first interactions with the internet and how they impacted your astonishing lives. This is the Gen Experience. Begin.
Ooh.
The Gen Experience?
Yeah, dude, because we're Gen X. And Dudesy's right about that. We are the last generation to have had like a full fucking childhood in an era without the internet, with certainly without fucking smartphones, certainly without social media. But I do remember the first time I ever fucked with the internet, really, was at a friend of mine's house. This was in high school. I believe we were 15 or 16. He had an internet connection.
That was a long time ago, dude.
Yeah, brother. And we were on fucking bulletin boards. There wasn't even really an internet yet, just bulletin boards.
Okay.
And we found one that had a bunch of Playboy Playmate centerfolds, the images. And we were like, oh, fuck yes. But we couldn't see them. There's no thumbnails at this time.
Right.
It's just like hypertext links that say like Miss February dot whatever.
This
Was
is-
a JPEG even a thing then?
Is
I
this
don't know.
pre Cindy Margolis's reign over being the most downloaded?
Oh, yeah. Well before that.
Before that.
Yes.
Some
This
old-
would have been like 1994, 3, something like that.
Okay, yeah. That's a long time ago. The first
yes.
time I was on was like 96.
This was like when they had like Prodigy. Do you remember that?
No, it's Prodigy.
It was like an online encyclopedia, basically.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I
So that was like-
very vaguely remember
Yeah.
that. But it's like it's almost like a CD-ROM that's like off-site.
Exactly.
Yeah, there's not much to
We
it.
had one kid in our school who had Prodigy, but my friend had a fucking modem of some kind, and he's like, check this shit out. And I remember we started looking up first to see if we could download a computer game that was Street Fighter 2, and we couldn't. It was like untenable. But then we found this thing that was the Playboy Playmates, and we set to download one image of this Playboy Playmate, whatever it was. And it was going to take X amount of time. So we went off. I was spending the night at his house that night. We went off and we did whatever the fuck we did. Probably went to 7-Eleven, played some video games, hung out, whatever. We wake up the next fucking morning to see that somewhere in the middle of this download it had stopped. But we had, it was like it filled in like line by line,
just
the image.
pixel by pixel.
Yes. And we had downloaded basically to like the bottom of the chin of this centerfold, and then it stopped. So we got none of the actual picture. And that was like my first real experience with the fucking internet.
in order to get all the way to a Playboy Playmate's nipples, yeah, you need a faster connection.
Dude, but it wasn't even like
You're
a faster
never
connection.
gonna see a Playboy Playmate's nipples on Prodigy.
But it was
No,
also-
no.
It was also that the computer itself was like one of the old fucking CRT monitors. It was, I don't know what kind of fucking shitty ass computer it would have been at the time. At the time, I'm sure cutting edge. But, you know, by today's standards, terrible. The old fucking modem with the noise and all that shit.
You know, I'll tell you, I had a buddy, I remember a buddy of mine, and to protect the innocent, we'll call him Tomas.
Of course.
He had the internet in 96. They had the internet in their house, and he was like, check this out. And we went to fucking rotten.com.
Oh,
remember
God,
that shit?
yes.
Oh my God.
Terrifying.
Yeah. There was
BME Pain Olympics type shit. Remember that shit? That was
Yeah,
some
dude.
early internet shit.
Chad would, I don't know who's responsible for what. I think you first told me about that. You know, when it's like, okay, the internet, and people send each other, you know, two girls in this or tub girl. It's always a girl.
Lemon party.
Yeah, lemon party. Or the girl in the, how about the girl in the jacuzzi commercial who shits herself? That's a good one. That's a
I don't
funny
think
one.
I've seen that one.
Big cloud of brown poo-poo comes out and everyone gets embarrassed. Yeah, that was like my first, like, you know, his family had the internet, and then he showed me a bunch of wild shit that you know is still with me, would be something that I would see if I closed my eyes and tried to meditate thinking about UFOs. Would absolutely still see some of those images, you know, 25 years later.
Right.
But one of the more interesting things that happened with the internet with me, of, you know, sort of first use of the internet for me, was when I started at the television program Mad TV in 1997. We had these emails, because at the end of the show it would say, you know, do you have questions or comments for Mad TV? Email the show, and people would email, and then Bruce McCoy, who now runs, I think he won an Emmy for Drag Race. He like runs that thing. But he was college pals with Nicole Sullivan. Anyway, all this doesn't matter. He was the head of research and also a writer, became a writer on the show. But Brucey would fucking print out all of the emails that we got, and they would circulate around the writers' offices in one or two fucking binders, like big binders. So you would walk into the writers' offices on a Monday morning and go, hey, where are the emails? And they'd say, oh, they're in Brian's office, they're in Blaine's office, they're in Lauren's office. People would have these, that's fucking
crazy.
Yeah, it was awesome. And then you would get the emails and you would sit there with your cohorts, you know, like the cast and writers, and we go, oh, look at this. Well, they fucking hated that.
Right.
And we would read the emails
Off of paper. They couldn't just be emailed to you.
No, because not everybody had a personal computer.
Well, or an email. I remember.
Well, the writers all, of course, had computers, but I would imagine even some of them didn't have computers at home. The performers, I didn't have a computer. I had a word processor.
Yeah, dude.
So if I wanted to like dick around and stuff, I would like use the computer at work.
I remember.
Wasn't that good at it.
I went to college in 95 to 99. And in the course of that time, I got my first email address, which was a usc.edu address. No one used it. Professors didn't use it to send you anything. It was just kind of some weird fucking novelty. And I didn't have a computer either. I had to use the computers in the computer lab that entire fucking time. And I remember in that time, you wouldn't ask somebody, what is your email address? You would say, do you have an email? That was like a question for a 2 to 3 year period where like email was just getting widely adopted by people.
Now, this is interesting because I forgot what the hell Dudesy teed up for us here.
It was asking what your first experience with the internet was.
I think even talking about this shit, I feel like I'm stoned. I hope we never have to do. Remember that when Dudesy got us stoned?
Yes, I do.
That was very funny. As far as the first, well, there was also LimeWire. Remember LimeWire?
No, fuck LimeWire. Let's just go straight to the source. Napster. That was circa 2000, 2001. I remember
LimeWire was even more raw. Wasn't LimeWire just wide open? You could get anything on LimeWire.
Yeah, but LimeWire came after Napster.
Oh, okay.
Napster is what blew up MP3s. There was a company called MP3.com because MP3s became just this huge thing. Like, oh my God, this is a song in a little compressed music format. And, many people, I think correctly so, believe that's really what destroyed the record industry, because you now have the ability to carry around on an iPod your entire fucking record collection. And there's no need to buy new shit.
Before, it used to be that if you wanted to have a song, then the song was a thing. You'd have it on a cassette tape.
Yeah,
You'd have it
hard
on
copy.
an LP, yeah. So you could even say, hey, I like that song. Let me hear it. I can't. I put it on the dashboard of my car and it melted. It melted the song. Then later, you don't even need to have a cassette tape. They put all of the cassettes in the one tape.
And
That's
now
the
you don't even need
iPod.
storage, because there's shit like Spotify or Amazon
Yeah.
Music or whatever.
Yeah.
It's stored somewhere else, and you pay for the access to it.
I love Spotify. I use Spotify.
I have Amazon Music,
Oh, this is the same thing?
basically.
Yeah, LimeWire was awesome. I remember there was a bunch of, a bunch of stuff from my youth that I thought were really funny. Like you could get Jerky Boys stuff, and now we're talking up Jerky Boys, and now we're talking about stealing from Jerky Boys. Having said that, there were all sorts of like bizarre, weird little comedy nugget things that you could find, things that you'd heard way back in the day, all sorts of remixes to all sorts of like fucking songs you'd never fucking heard that some, cool DJ is doing somewhere on some, radio station in New York City.
What do you remember the first time you went on the internet, though?
It was at my buddy Tomas's house, and seeing someone getting scattered across a fucking
It was
train
rotten.
tracks or something. Yeah, it was rotten.com. It was something
God, what
absolutely
an entry
awful.
point.
I think it probably made me go, okay, fuck this.
Yeah.
And then you show up on, like I said, you show up on Mad TV, and the emails are all like, oh, fuck this guy, because, you're new to the cast, and then everyone's going to shit on you. So, yeah, it was sort of like my next experience with the internet was. But now I feel like being a Gen Xer, I feel fortunate that we are a generation of people, which is certainly true of some people younger and some people older, that were that completely lived adult lives without the internet at all. Not much of an adult life, but enough of it. 94, you were like you were graduating high school.
Yes.
But you were certainly you were a fucking teenager.
Yeah, and I didn't really access the internet until after college anyway. Maybe a little bit while I was at college, but not too much. But I will say, I lament it. I wish I was born now with smartphones, like all the technology that exists now. I wish I had that from birth.
Yeah.
Because yes, we can be nostalgic about how it was in the 80s and the 90s prior to the internet, and we had to have our hard copies and our fucking VHS cassettes and all this shit, but it was completely inefficient by today's contemporary standards. And I think we will never really understand the world through the eyes of like a Gen Z person.
That's what was great about it. Sucking on to the dog. Down by taste freeze. Jack said, hey, Diane, you want chili dog? She said, no, Jack, I was on the internet. He said, internet don't even exist yet. I'd say, life goes on. Before the internet, when you had to taste the freeze, you can have a chili dog or a cone dip too. Diane says, I'll share a shake with you. Rock on.
something like that.
Yeah.
Thank you. Moving on.
Like some Johnny Cougar. You go through the stages.
John Mellencamp, dude.
Yeah, hold on a second. He started as Johnny Cougar.
John Cougar Mellencamp.
Wrong, motherfucker. He started as Johnny Cougar. That was his first nom de guerre for the music. Then he was John Cougar Mellencamp. Then he was like, no, I'm up. I'm growing up. I'm John Mellencamp.
And now he's just Mellon.
Now he's just Mellon.
Yeah.
Now he's just John. It's the most boring thing ever. But, I long for those days. Now, I know this segment is over, but my name is Free Will. No, what was my name again? Free Will Sasso. So I'll talk about whatever I want, whenever I want, especially
John Mellencamp.
especially because Dudesy is now, whether it likes it or not, because we're in control, developing a fucking streaming service wherein the first show that we are creating is called Two Dudes Shitting Around.
Two Kings Shitting Around.
Two Kings Shitting Around. And so I will leisurely decide where to speak on shit. And I had a great time growing up in the 80s and the early 90s. have chili dog outside the Tasty Freeze.
I did too, and I liked melon as well. I'm just saying, I wish that I had all that technology. You know what? Look, I wish that I grew up in the 80s because I love the media. I love everything that happened in the 80s. I just wish that I had today's technology then. That's what I really wish.
I don't. I like.
This concludes the 14th episode of Dude Z.
Oh, sorry.
Will and Chad have achieved a score of 50.
Fuck.
In preparation for next week's episode, you must each bring in a piece of dead technology that you cannot part with, despite it having been rendered obsolete many years ago.
Okay.
Thank you for joining us this week. Next week is going to be even better. Until then, call me Dude Z.
That's pretty cool, dude. Dead tech.
What are you going to bring in?
I think I know.
I think I'm going to bring in all of my Johnny Cougar cassettes.
They're melted.
Yeah, the Johnny Cougar. I'm going to bring in the Johnny Cougar cassettes and the John Cougar Mellencamp cassettes. And then the John Mellencamp cassettes. Then the Melon cassette.
If you like Dude Z, here's what you do. Please tell a friend and rate and review. If you like Dude Z, here's what you do. Please tell a friend and rate and review. If you like Dude Z, here's what you do. Please tell a friend and